Hey everybody, my name is Stevie, and this is actually my first video for YouTube, this type of video anyway. Basically what I am going to show you is a very basic introductory kind of rock beat in 4/4 time. I was recently at a drum show and I was astounded at how many people were there that wanted to play the drums or had got a set of drums but didn't think that they could do it, had no idea where to start, and were just kind of banging on things all over the place with no point to it. So this is, like I said, a really basic introductory kind of video, and we're going to cover a real basic rock beat just to get the people who are just now getting a set of drums or who are thinking about getting a set of drums started. Music exists in time, and there are a lot of different time signatures. What we're going to use tonight is a 4/4 time, which means that there's 4 beats per measure. We're not going to get into measures and things like that, but I just want to show you a couple of things that'll get you started right away in playing the drums. The most important thing to know is that counting out loud is how you need to start so you can keep in time. What you don't want to be is way out of time when you start, because that's going to make it much harder down the road. Everything that you do in drumming and playing the guitar and so many other things is all muscle memory. And when you start doing something, you want to do it correctly the first time, because if you build a bad habit, you're going to have a really hard time correcting that down the road. So 2 things that I highly recommend is, 1, a metronome, which you can get free online. There's a couple of good ones. You can Google free metronome and get a couple of good metronomes that you can, use. I use a free one actually, and I pipe it through my headphones and crank the volume up so I can hear it over the drums when I'm playing. I don't recommend using a metronome all the time because you'll get dependent upon it, but I do recommend that you use it periodically to keep a check on yourself, to make sure you're still doing what you need to be doing. In the beginning, you probably should use it a lot more than you're going to down the road. A slower setting when you're starting out is best, and counting out loud is also invaluable. What this does is your brain hears yourself counting, and I'm not sure why or how it works, but it does. If you count to yourself, it's not as beneficial as counting out loud. So keep that in mind when you're doing these exercises. The basic beat that I'm going to show you is a quarter note beat, and that means per measure you'll have 4 beats. You're going to have all 4 beats on the hi-hat. So you will start out with your beat on 1 with the hi-hat, and basically it'll be something like this, and play it kind of slow, because the faster you go, the more mistakes you're going to make in the beginning, and you really don't want that. It'll slow down your progress. So the quarter note beat on the hi-hat is going to sound like this, probably somewhere around 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was 4 measures of quarter notes. Obviously that's pretty boring. So what you're going to want to try is this real basic beat. Lots of people use it. You'll hear this in a lot of the songs that are on the radio. You'll hear a more spiced up version of it, but this is basically the gist of it. When you start your beat on 1, you're going to want to add your bass drum into it. So you want to make sure that your bass drum and your hi-hat hit at exactly the same time. On beat 3, you're going to add in your snare drum. So you'll have beat 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. practice that over and over and over and over again until you can play it in your sleep. This is going to build your muscle memory, and it's going to help you build a foundation that'll get you going into more advanced things. But remember the metronome, counting out loud. That's very important. So we'll speed that beat up a little bit so you can kind of hear what you're gunning for, and it'll give you some ambition to play to get to that point. So again, that's a real basic rock beat just to get you started. Depending upon how the response is to this video, I'll make a few more and show you a couple of more things that'll build from this point that is basically the same but will enhance the sound a lot. So you can start making some decent sound right off the bat. Appreciate your time, man. Any problems, any questions, just email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Keep drumming.